My best friend here. Your first trip out of the country. Where did you go? I'm going to ask more questions.
Okay. My first trip out of the country, I went to Kigali
Kigali.
by bus.
Kigali by
Wow.
bus. Wow.
I was a new mother. My
Lots
best
of
friend
mosquitoes here.
convinced me. As a new mother, I had a 6 weeks old baby. Was it 6 weeks? 6 months.
6 months.
No, it wasn't months.
It wasn't months.
It was weeks because my siblings rioted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had my 6 weeks old
I
baby.
think it was 6 weeks.
And my best friend convinced me, we can go to Kigali by bus. It's okay. Your baby's a calm baby. He doesn't cry. And so it's like, why not? We jumped on a bus to Kigali.
How many years ago was this?
14. He's
14.
turning 15 this year.
14 years ago. Wow. You took a bus
Took a bus.
to Kigali.
Yes.
That's about 12 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. This is really actually inspiring that you have a friend who challenges you and tells you, let's go.
Yeah.
I am very sure for you who are watching us online, you have had a moment when friends have told you, I am going here, let's go. And either you developed cold feet or you took it reluctant. But this actually could have been your opportunity to pick a memory, in travel we collect memories. That's a fond memory for her. 14 years ago, the first time to leave the country, she traveled by bus. And this is me saying, friends, it doesn't have to be the traditional way or have huge expectations. May this help you demystify the whole idea of travel. That it could be, it doesn't have to be very well thought through, well calculated. Of course, it is important to think through, plan and calculate, but it doesn't always have to be like that. Sometimes the best trips are spontaneous, that something comes up and you say, let's do it, and you do it. And at the end of the day, you'll be like,
This one.
wow, this was amazing. So her first trip out of the country was because of a friend who challenged her to go visit another city, Kigali.
Yeah. A friend
Okay.
of ours was giving birth, and that best friend of mine was going to attend to her. So she invited me along. Said, let's go to Kigali. So I got on a bus.
Wow.
Thank God for friends. You should thank God for your friends who invite you to journeys. First time on the plane, how was it? Where were you going?
First time on the plane was 2022.
2022.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to Nairobi for a conference, Fearless Summit.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell us your experience. Did you get goosebumps?
No.
How was the feeling?
I didn't get goosebumps. It's a very short flight. It's a 1 hour flight.
Yeah, but
I didn't-
going on the plane, I mean, the preparation, the journey
The journey,
before the fly.
I didn't know what to expect. In movies, airports are very busy and a bit confusing. So I had concerns of, I've escorted people to the airport when they're traveling, and so they leave you outside and they go in, and I don't know where they go. The back end. So they're just questions of, okay, so when I go and then they're checking my bags, then what next? So, but it wasn't. Entebbe is a small airport.
What's
So,
most memorable about? What do you remember most? What struck you most on that
the
trip?
clouds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seeing
What
the
about-
clouds through the window. I think in my head I thought heaven was. That heaven was just
That physical place.
that physical place above the
Okay.
clouds. Then I realized it's actually the plane can go above the clouds.
Clouds.
So I'm like, we can actually be up
Above the
there,
clouds.
above the clouds.
With the angels.
So I took pictures. I took lots of pictures because of the clouds and through the window. I had a window seat, and I think that was the.
Did you
I
book
don't
a
know.
window seat? Or
It wasn't
did you
intentional.
request? Okay.
It wasn't intentional. Just ended up with one. It wasn't an hour.
So this is a tip for you friends. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you short. It's beautiful when you have a window seat. because when you have a window seat, you are able to have a memory like hers, that you're able to see the clouds and ascend maybe the lower heavens. So
Wow.
it feels so real when you look out the clouds and take
Yeah.
pictures.
And
It's
then
actually
the aerial
beautiful.
view, like when you're landing,
Yeah.
the aerial view of everything of Entebbe when you're coming down, the landscape, it was beautiful. Gardens, you see people's, like this one has a banana plantation, the demarcations of the different gardens. You actually see them, the demarcations for the different types of crops, trees, and all as you're coming down. It was quite a sight.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, Mabel. Mabel's most memorable aspect of her first flight is seeing the clouds through the aircraft window. And here is the tip for you, friends. If you're going to travel by plane, plan in advance and book a window seat, because it gives you an opportunity to view what is outside, and at takeoff and at landing you actually have a very beautiful sight. If you're landing in a city, you're able to see the aerial view, to have the aerial view of the city, and that images like that stay in your mind. And when I mentioned Nairobi, I imagine that you have pictures of what Nairobi looks like.
Yeah.
Awesome. Friends, we are talking about amazing things about travel. We've heard from the two ladies, first time away from home and first time on a plane. Now I want to take the gears a little bit higher. I would like our friend here, Annette, to share with us places that she has visited anywhere within Uganda, within Africa or East Africa, all over the world, but places that are very memorable to you, places that you have visited. And what's that one or two things that you took away from that place? What do you remember most? What is something inspiring?
Oh, I'm a
The explorer. She is
Yeah.
an explorer. She's been many places. So thank God
She
we
travels
have
on our
her
behalf.
today. Oh yes, sir. Please say that again.
Yeah, she travels on our behalf.
Yes, she's been many places. So she really must have. I know she has stories from places that she has been, and we are lucky to have her this evening to share her memories, inspiring moments from her journeys.
Wow.
Let's pick out.
Can I pick?
Yes.
Azerbaijan.
Wow.
Yeah, Annette has been to Azerbaijan, and please share with us and with our friends online
Wow.
about your trip to Azerbaijan.
How did you choose that place?
How did I choose the place?
Yes.
Actually, it was through work. But it was work and sort of holiday.
Okay.
And of course, Azerbaijan, it's like you travel from here to Turkey, and then from Turkey, there are planes to Azerbaijan. And I was very fascinated when I got to Turkey International Airport, because I've forgotten the name, Akuk, or that, it's a Turkish name.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those airports. These people from Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is that side of Russia. It's next to the Caspian Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where the Russian oligarchs, the rich people, go on holiday. And when we traveled, we were two blacks. And we made quite a scene. Of course, I had traveled, but I went with this person, and it was his first time to travel. And he was a bit of like, I know it all. So he went and sat on somebody's seat. I think he thought that it was a taxi like in Uganda.
You sit wherever you
And
want.
I really didn't want to over. He was like proving. Then they got him up. I was like, you look at what you're doing. You know, we are only two people here.
Sincerely.
Yes, and of course those people they fly for shopping. As in, they fly from Azerbaijan, they come to Turkey for shopping, and then they fly back. And when I'm traveling, I really make, especially like cornrows. I like that African look.
Yes.
So I go on behalf of Uganda when I know.
Oh yes.
I make my kitengis, like to educate people.
Yes.
And I've lived in Western Europe, like in the UK. Western Europe is a bit different from from Eastern Europe.
Yes.
They're quite still cold and green about. Blacks, and when we got in there, it was very nice. It's a beautiful country. Back, of course, they examine a lot, like at the airport. Yeah, they're not English speaking, but they're quite friendly. But I don't know. I don't know how I can say, like, you're in a museum and you're a show to people all the time, or like everyone is looking at you. They look at you from your outfit,
your hair,
the way you hold your cutlery. Yeah, they're trying, like, you're even in the presentation, and they're like, okay, so they're like, when did you learn this English?
Yeah, you're on a weighing scale.
Yeah, you're on a
microscope, kind of. Yeah.
You're strange.
Yeah. And the hotel was so good, so beautiful. They write welcome. I had never been in a hotel where they use a remote control to draw the curtains. And I didn't know how to do it. And when you call the reception, they're not English speaking. So it was a bit of like you say in language.
Oh yes.
But they figured out, they came and helped me. So their food, they're very meaty. They eat a lot of meat, and of course flour. Like they do things like naan bread.
Are they into spices? Are they like, I don't know?
Yeah, because they're a bit like Muslim.
Yeah.
Yes. But they're so rich. I was like, even if they gave Uganda a bit of their electricity, they would still have more. I was so amazed. Their roads, I think when they come here, they wonder how we live.
Yeah,
like their roads are vast and very orderly. So it was really beautiful. But the people who took me, who sponsored the trip, had to apologize to me. Because wherever I went, black model, they come and fill your hair. But I felt really good about it, because I was like,
is that the most memorable thing for you?
I think so. That side where I've gone. And touching my hair. And they ask you how long you do your hair. It's because I've never got.
Was it in a good way, like appreciation, not mean?
I think it was
curiosity.
I think they don't mean to be mean, but they don't know.
Yes.
No, that's good. So I didn't take it personal.
So it was pure.
Yes, it was pure, and it's really like we take things for granted. Like you're here and you just assume like somebody knows something. So the people who took us, like the facilitators, were like, Annette, we are so sorry. They kept on apologizing. I was like, no. It's like, I was a model and I like the attention. It's because she chose Azerbaijan.
You can say
that again. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
I know you're just affirming. When I was growing up, I read this and I heard this over and over and over. Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful.
Yeah.
But now that we've grown up, I think I actually have personally had many situations where the statement still holds up there. Black is beautiful.
And Black does not drink coffee.
Yeah, so but black is beautiful. So I am imagining yourself out there and being admired by the Arab sheikhs and moguls and
But it changed also my take or outlook on the Eastern Europe, because I was in Western Europe and we could see the Eastern Europeans when they came to London, they could pick apples on the farms. They're the ones who were taken to work there. So when I went there, I think it helped me. You widen, or your mind, the way you look at things changes. Of course, they're very rich and into shopping, and the women working on themselves. They cannot come out without applying makeup. You're here and then you box people.
Yes.
But when actually you go out, and of course it was different organizations, because we went on this trip with people who came from Georgia, some people came from South Africa, from Kenya. So it was really quite, and naturally I love different culture. That's why even when I'm in Uganda, I'm a UN, United Nations. Yeah. As much as I come from the promised land, of course, Kamuli. I'm very open-minded, and traveling has really helped me to appreciate different cultures, different people, and how things are done actually. Wow. Like it's not how my mom taught me that tomatoes have to be cut this way. Yeah.
There is another way.
Yeah, sure.
Friends, there is another way of cutting tomatoes. We are privileged to be in a conversation with an explorer of our days.
Yes.
And it is, I would say, by Ugandan standards, well-traveled. But she loves travel. She's passionate about travel, as you've heard her saying. She's passionate about cultural diversity, and all this actually comes with more and more exposure. She wasn't like this 20 years ago, I am sure, but the more she has gone out there, met different people, experienced different cultures, the more she has actually become a true United Nations. We did not intentionally plan that we would focus on international travel. We actually looking at travel generally. My best friend here has been to many places as well within the country. What is your favorite Ugandan city?
City?
Yes.
Well, do we have many cities?
Yes, we do.
Of course. Mbale.
Okay. Let's see. Which cities of Uganda have you been to?
I've been to Jinja.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Mbale.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through Mbarara.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Fort Poto.
Yes.
I've been to Kabale,
Yes.
Kasese,
Kasese, yes.
Kapchora,
Kapchora, yes.
Gulu.
Gulu.
Yes.
I asked this question on purpose. Friends who are watching us, Annette is our explorer, so she's been in and out. But how many of you have been to more than? Ask yourself the question: which cities of Uganda have I been to? Do I know the people that live in those cities? Do I know the culture? What do I know about my Uganda? About the cities in Uganda? About the people that live in those cities? This is the reason for this conversation. That travel doesn't have to be complicated. Travel doesn't have to be intricate. It doesn't have to be so wide and out of the world. Even in our local context. Oh yes, I have international friends. If you're watching us from Germany on my YouTube, how much of German do you know? If you're watching us from South Africa, I have my African brotherhood, Kakamleri, and the rest of you, Mantatisi, Matoso. How much out of your country do you know? TK, how much out of Zambia? I mean, within Zambia, do you know? How much do you know about the South and the West? Because my friend here has been to quite actually a good part, more than half. Okay, 25% of the cities, more than 25% actually. It's very few. It's Arua. It's the West Nile that you haven't explored more. But how much of your country, from wherever you are watching us, from wherever you're watching this live from, how much of your country do you know? How much of your country have you explored? How much of your country do you plan to explore? That's something to consider and think about deeply. So, your favorite of those, your top two, with the exception of Jinja. Jinja is not comparable, in my opinion. It's in another league.
Above.
It's above all of them. Sorry, that's a joke, friends. Don't take it personal.
The place that I found fascinating, that two places actually have things in common, and I found both fascinating. When I went to Bondibujo, on our 10th anniversary, we had a road trip to the west.
Yes.
And I saw beautiful winding roads. It was so beautiful. The hills, they looked they were cultivated terraces.
Wow.
Yeah. There's that type of farming in the west.
Yeah, terrace farming.
Terrace farming. Yes, it was so beautiful. And my next beautiful place, memorable place, is Kapchora. And still because of the winding roads and the hills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Friends, scenic views for her. So I have a clue actually, because some of these things I'm hearing for the first time.
I could see.
And yet we live in the same house. But I've got a cue. Scenic views actually cut it for her. I didn't know that she loved geography that much.
I also didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I'm discovering now that you asked. I can relate to what I found fascinating on the plane. It was still scenic views.
Yeah.
I am learning myself also.
Self-discovery.
Please give us a comment. What do you find interesting about travel when you travel? What would be that thing? Please share in a comment, share in a testimony of your travel experiences, because the purpose of this channel is to help others explore learn and dare to travel.